Hi everyone, today we're going to be reading a short piece that I wrote as a follow-up to my last YouTube video. Links will be in the description. White straight guys with beards and/or diplomas, or Western Marxism and its flaws, transphobia and other bigotries in the Anti-Zionist movement. May 31st, 2026. Fascism makes you dumb. So here's some food for thought while combating fascism in disguise. To it, this question specifically concerns Western Marxism and its flaws, namely transphobia and the anti-Zionist movement. I'll give examples from my own work, a trans woman with a degree who is also anti-Zionist, but also other people's work too, trans or otherwise. We'll consider examples from academic and non-academic registers, e.g. YouTube, but feel free to add your own, as Lost Futures does below. I know hair smells bad when you light it on fire, but time to barbecue some sacred cows. Question: one concerning Western Marxism and its flaws, or transphobia and other bigotries in the anti-Zionist movement. Are reactionary and/or moderate straight white guys with a beard and/or degree always right? Put differently, can such people sell out behind different status symbols? Are white skin, straightness, degree, and/or beard? Our focus here is white straight guys with beards, insofar as Western Marxism is predominantly white straight guys with beards, who tend to means test exclude other groups in bad faith, e.g. non-white people, women, unpaid labor as a whole, indigenous peoples, etc. See George Rockhill's Who Paid the Pipers of Western Marxism. Also, this blog post originally appears on Reddit, r/anarcho-communism and r/socialism 101. This has historical precedence within Marxism, ergo socialism as a whole. Marx was a white straight guy with a beard. Marx was homophobic and born Jewish, but rejecting that side of things. Norm Finkelstein is a white, straight, Jewish guy with a degree. Norm is transphobic. Marx died before Zionism could manifest, and before the world first homosexual trial with Oscar Wilde, but Norm is queerphobic, meaning in ways that sacrifice identity politics on the altar of class reductionism. He is class reductionist, using his status as a PhD to punch down at trans people during their own genocide, i.e., furthering one genocide and the abjection process while claiming to fight another genocide. Sucks for trans Palestinians, I guess, but also trans anti-Zionists as a whole. Simply put, you don't stop one genocide by waging another, slurs or otherwise, to play the hero and the victim, what my friend and mentor Sandy Norton calls the imperialism of theory. This extends to people outside academia proper. Take YouTube. Bad Empanada has both a beard and BA in history, and not Jewish, is subsequently transphobic, anti-Semitic, racist, and exclusionary of indigenous peoples, etc. From the anti-Zionist movement, he demonstrably monopolizes, as an Aussie expat living in Argentina, no less. However, the example I'll give isn't so much Bad Empanada, as I've said enough about him as is, but rather simply white straight dudes with beards downplaying bigotry in ways that highlight the flaws of Western Marxism, RA from Marx onwards, i.e. vis-a-vis Zionism, as something to enact in bad faith, so-called anti-Zionism with a literal beard, and not the gay kind. The example I'll give is the Cavernacle. Cav is a white Irish guy living in London who, after ignoring Bad Empanada for years, is suddenly defending him versus FD Signifier. FD Signifier is a black man calling out Bad Empanada's laundry list of bigoted behaviors mid-genocides, trans and Palestinian, and all while Cav discredits my work, making false statements about me as a fellow Zionist. If you scratch a moderate, a fascist bleeds, and Cav, a token Irishman, bleeds the soup. Same difference. You helped make a video about me, which was outright defamation and slander. For people reading, this is the Trash Discourse video. You are literally credited as one of the authors. You have no right at all to lecture me about anything. To which I responded in Cav Takes the Soup. I wasn't the author, I was cited, and gave Trash permission to use my document in a video about Ben Empanada, not you. I didn't help make the video. Also, opinion isn't slander under American law, dickhead. Third, the video Trash made gave their opinion about you, not mine. In short, he excludes me much how Ben Empanada did, but also as Norm Finkelstein would do, or Marx, the white straight savior with a degree and or beard who apparently trumps my own credentials and right to exist, defend myself and my friends from bad actors. Doing so is predatory, and Western Marxism and Marxist-Leninism are not exempt from such behaviors, especially when invoking state power is something to defend from so-called degenerates, various strongmen, e.g. Stalin, Marx, or anyone acting like them to various degrees, declaring people like me as corrupting the movement. Predominantly one that defends different in-group members, said members historically monopolizing oppression for themselves. Saying you're smart doesn't automatically make you smart, any more than saying you're oppressed, under attack, or anything else does. Context matters. The point being, and one addressing the central question here, is I am, and have been for years, a queer author, academic, and activist who can easily grow a beard, but chose not to. I hate beards because they itch, first and foremost, and only seem to exist in cishet culture for straight men to compete and celebrate like peacocks, but also not having one makes me feel more femme, but that's just me, and has gotten me laid a lot, though plenty of beard havers lay pipe too. But the moment I critique the white straight guy with a beard, another white straight guy with a beard comes to Ben Empanada's defense, already cab lying about me and ignoring evidence despite my going to bat for them multiple times, both on my own channel and on someone else's, and despite my being a rape survivor, granddaughter of a Holocaust survivor, and fervent anti-capitalist, anti-fascist, and anti-Zionist eco-socialist, stressing intersectional consciousness/solidarity to avoid class culture and race reductionism. Cav doesn't care. Defending Ben Empanada and the status quo of Western Marxism in the process. The problem isn't white straight guys with beards per se, but bad actors bearing those qualities who refuse to face facts and criticism. Ari, Cav taking the soup, to myopically defend Ben Empanada from valid criticism, be it mine or FD signifiers. And while FD is far from perfect, and I repeatedly say as much, he'll at least admit when he's wrong once confronted with evidence, e.g. Ben Empanada calling a black ML Zog slave, which the Tabernacle unironically defends, citing the usual free speech bullshit. By comparison, the usual benefactors of Western Marxism, online and or at university, only appear to double down when confronted, are white straight guys, with or without beards, clutching pearls and using their credentials like a shield from criticism. This goes for Norm Finkelstein or for Ben Empanada and the Tabernacle, none of whom take accountability about furthering transphobia and other bigotries during the Palestinian genocide. Instead, they only use and or stubbornly defend the use of slurs from ivory towers, meaning in moderate to reactionary ways that further genocide for some, and generally ones they don't directly experience themselves. Toothless and flaccid, but also bad faith, they lie and downplay things to posture as saviors exempt from criticism, i.e. playing the hero and the victim, while preying on others behind their diplomas, beards, or anything else. They're evil Santa, basically. I would counter that trans people are people and should be heard alongside other minorities and their modularities, i.e. when holding bad actors accountable. To it, bad actors don't monopolize anti-Zionism, which, when gatekept as it is here, only weakens the movement to serve Zionism, thus cast Marxism and socialism in a bad light. Thoughts? Source image, save Jordanian Palestinian trans woman's life. Thank you for watching. If you want to learn more about me, you can see the footer at the bottom of this page. And there are various links in my YouTube video description as well as my YouTube channel description. You can like, share, and subscribe if you wish. You can leave a comment. Every bit helps and goes towards helping not just me, but my friends, including those in Palestine, including those in other parts of the world that are subject to genocidal abuses vis-a-vis America, Great Britain, Australia, New Zealand, what have you. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, stay safe out there.